Tell me, with what you've seen of late, you're going to be proposing something?
Yeah, so later this afternoon, we'll be releasing a press release. As part of that, we will be calling for Lucas Cleveland, the mayor of Cobourg, to declare a state of emergency.
And tell us why.
Specifically over the escalating homelessness and opioid toxicity and opioid crisis that's not only having an impact on the people that are actively struggling with addiction, but also the neighbors and the overall community. There's not one person that I know in this community that hasn't been impacted in one way or another.
What kind of state of emergency do?
It can do a number of things, and now I'm not a legal expert by any means, but it needs to go beyond just a symbolic gesture. It needs to be met with real action in terms of mobilizing resources, whether that be provincial resources, whether that be municipal, county resources. It needs to be a unified front to tackle root cause of the issues. It needs to look at where we are failing. The status quo isn't working, as we can see, and that's not just failing the people that are actively using. It's failing our neighbors. It's failing every resident by not acting, and it's not any one person's fault that we've gotten here. I think everybody on every team and every frontline worker is doing everything they can, but they're burning out, spinning their wheels, and without concrete, drastic measures, we're going to see more death, more chaos, and just a complete devolvement of the situation.
Last question. And this comes after I spoke to you probably, less than 24 hours ago last night, but about how you were mentioning how there was 35 people on the street just a few short days ago, and it's not getting better. I don't know what transition house is like, how full, how not full, but obviously for one reason or another, people are not there. They're on the street, and as you counted last Friday, Saturday morning, 35 people.
Yeah, and I mean, even if we look at the historical stats for Transition House at this point, assuming 80 to 90% capacity, that gives them a few beds at most, and a lot of people are not equipped for that type of shelter, just a simple bed. It's a lot more complex than that, and we have to address that complexity. We can't just band-aid where everybody works independently. Oh, I'm going to deal with addiction, and I'm going to deal with housing, and I'm going to deal with this, and nobody talks to each other. And you just have people revolving through the system, the legal system, the rental system. People are in and out of apartments quick, and it's just unfortunate. And that's what it's devolved to. And again, it's nobody's fault. Everybody's doing the best they can, but it needs to change.
Tell me what you're doing here tonight.
Yeah, so out doing outreach as part of a program that IHARC does. It's all hours of the day and night, connecting people to resources, making sure that they're staying as warm and alive and as fed as possible that we can do. Part of that is making sure that there's no discarded paraphernalia especially in public places that can be of danger to the general public, especially vulnerable populations like children and the elderly. So tonight we were just through Vic Park.
Tell me about what you found in Vic Park.
Yeah, so specifically targeting the canteen area and the playgrounds. Unfortunately, tonight found some tinfoil and a discarded pipe in the playground itself, like in the sandbox. As part of the standard practice of whenever things are found in dangerous areas, in potentially dangerous areas like that, testing is always conducted to see what the substance is. We're only able to test for fentanyl, xylazine, which is usually in fentanyl, and then benzodiazepines, which is sometimes in meth, but mostly in fentanyl as well.
What did you find here? By the looks of it, everything's positive.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything that was found, tinfoil and the pipe in the playground, was positive for fentanyl. Now these tests, again, it's not laboratory grade. Obviously, there's no guarantee, but which is why multiple are conducted at the same time. All of them tested positive for fentanyl, unfortunately.
To say that they're not, like you say, to say that it's not, 100% positive, but it's not a concoction you made up. These are actual test kits, if I can say.
Yeah. So the standard test kit comes with the standard. It's just a water solution, like purified water, so that it doesn't introduce any. It's not like I'm using bottled water that might have minerals that might test positive. And then each test is from a reputable agency. This is handed out by the health unit. That's where they get them from. And then you have single-use containers, single-use stir sticks. Everything's single-use, sterile, and so it's as good as you can get in the back of a truck in a park, without it being electronic.
What's it been like this past week? To me, it seems it's been extremely busy on the streets that I visually can see.
Yeah, I'm seeing so many new faces, apart from the clients that we normally deal with and try and support. I did a count Friday after curfew at Transition House, so I didn't get that population, and then I didn't account for any encampments either, and I counted 35 people sleeping on the streets on Friday or Saturday morning.
And it's not getting any warmer out now tonight. Obviously it's above zero, but
yeah,
it's going down.
It's going down. Currently, there is no warming hub in play. There's ideas being floated, but given the restrictions on the county council has placed on county staff, no warming room can happen in Cobourg, and so it's
up in the air.
Yeah, unfortunately, as much as I would love to say, we need to figure it out and they need to do their jobs at the county, I'm talking to them quite frequently, and there's nothing more they can do that they're not already trying to do.
Tell me about the fire earlier on.
Yeah, so I was driving down King Street, and somebody that I regularly interact with flagged me down for water. They had found a pull-along cart that was engulfed in flames, and they put it out, thankfully. So yeah, just random in that alley.
And sorry, what was it?
It was a one of those pull-along carts that you see, I guess, the elderly population carry around.
Yeah.
It was fully engulfed, from what I understand. I was flagged down. They had dealt with it. Very thankful for that individual who dealt with it. But
police were called, or do you know?
Yeah, so I made contact with police. I was told that I guess a number of fires had happened in that alley. I wasn't sure, so just as a precaution, I called them just so that they were aware. Now, that being said, I made sure that fire wasn't tiered because it was just ashes at that point. There was no need, so I didn't want to wake the boys up. But yeah.
Okay. No, good. All right.